is Keep an Open Mind with Becky, coming with a message today from Lyric. I'm going to try to give this message. I don't feel the best, but this song just popped up in my head, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it because I have a whole bunch of songs that I need to get done. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing. I'm going to try to finish this video, but if I am unable to because of how I'm feeling, then I will finish it tomorrow and do part 2. Okay, so we're gonna say this is part 1. Let me go turn off my turn off my notifications. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best, but if I start feeling sick, I apologize, and I'm just gonna finish it tomorrow. I just want to get this video out because I'm behind on songs. This is called Cleaning Out My Closet by Eminem. Kind of want to just do a little bit of summary, but this is for someone who has been abused by their parent. They had drug abuse. They were in foster care. And their parent pretty much didn't want them, didn't love them, abandoned them. And that's what the song is pretty much about. Eating a peppermint to keep myself together here. Okay. So it says, have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have been protested, demonstrated against. Picket signs for my wicked rhymes. Look at the times. Sick is the mind of the kid that's behind. All this commotion, emotions run deep as oceans exploding. Okay. I'm probably going to go through this really fast, so forgive me if y'all don't get it. If it's really bad, if I'll listen to my video and I'll redo it. So, pretty much, he's saying that people are hating him about his past, and pretty much rumors, people who don't really know the 401 and all that stuff. And so, hi, how are you? We're going over lyrics for Cleaning Out My Closet by Eminem. That's what we're going on. So, and it says, so I just said, have you ever been hated or discriminated against? So, you know, I'm sure people have been hated and discriminated. And so this is people talking about you, rumors, you know, happening. And it says, I have protested and demonstrated against. This is you trying to defend yourself because of your reputation. People are talking bad about you. And it says that picket signs for my wicked rhymes. People are hating you because of the things that you are sharing. The things that you are sharing about your past. People don't always agree with it. People listen to your songs or listen to your rhymes or your poems, or people just overhear your conversation, don't really know the whole thing, pretty much calling you wicked. And it says, sick is the mind of the kid that's behind. So, you know, pretty much talking about yourself, you feeling like they feel like you are sick in the head, like something's wrong with you. And then it says, all this commotion, emotions run deep as oceans exploding. So oceans is deep. So where it is saying like you have all these memories of, you know, it goes run really, really, really deep as when you were a kid. So you have all these emotions built up and pent up inside of you that you've about to explode. Okay. And it says tempers flaring from parents, just blowing them off and keep going. So you might not have a relationship with whoever raised you. You don't have a relationship with them. So people see you pretty much giving them the, you know, side eye, the cold treatment because they don't know what happened. So they don't understand why you act a certain way towards your parents or towards the person that helped raise you. And so, sorry, as I explained, I'm not feeling the best tonight. So I'm going to try to see how long I can do this video. So if I don't make it through the whole song. It's not a really long song, just mostly a lot of words. If I don't make it to it, then I will do a part 2 tomorrow, okay? I'm not feeling the best. I just started not feeling the best, so well, I haven't really been feeling good all day, but I want to get this song out because it's really good, okay? And it says, not taking nothing from no one, give them hell long as I'm breathing. So, you know, when you're a kid, people don't understand what you went through, so you're getting upset. You probably, you know, going off on people, you know, because people don't know how it was for you as a kid. And it says, keep kicking blank, you know, in the morning and taking names in the evening. Leave them with taste as sour as vinegar in their mouth. So pretty much, you know, you're spitting at the mouth. You're going off on people day and night because you're trying to defend yourself and what you went through as a kid. And so people putting their name in their mouth, people talking about you. So you pretty much, you like every person that tries to talk about you, that has something to say about you, you have something to say back. So you giving them a bitter taste. Like, you're not saying nothing sweet, like you're not sugarcoating nothing, you just pretty much, you're doing. So the next lyric says, so they can trigger me but they'll never figure me out. So it's like, when someone is triggering your memory, you try to play, you know, a different way. So sometimes, you know, a lot of people, they may not tell you what they went through, like their trauma. They may not express a lot of things. And so they really just like, it's like they try to confuse you. So they might turn it back on you and take it off of them. And so a lot of people just pretty much can't figure you out because they don't know if you really went through something, because they don't know unless you tell them, right? Okay. And then it says, look at me now. I bet you're probably sick of me now, ain't you, mama? I'm making you look so ridiculous now. And so this whole time, you know, talking about how his mom is watching him on TV, you know, and, you know, probably regretting how she treated him and all this stuff, but trying to paint pictures as if she'd been good to her son or whatever. So it says, I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet. What's that mean? Everything that this person has been holding in, not telling anybody, you know, they held it in long enough. And so now it's like it's bursting because they've been trying to keep that cool, not be reminded of their pain. And so their pain is pretty much just like coming out with anger, with words. And so, and it's possible that, you know, this parent's trying to act like it never happened. And so people don't understand why they're acting a certain way. They probably saying, you know, you shouldn't be treating your mom like that. You should be respecting your parent. You know, they gave birth to you, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And so they're over here like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and express myself. Because I said, I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet. So this is a confession on how they was really treated as a kid. It says, I got some skeletons in my closet, and I don't know if no one knows it. So before they throw me inside my coffin and close it, I'm going to expose it. I'll take you back to 73 before I had multi-platinum selling CD. So this is a confession of someone who has not been telling anybody what they went through as a kid. They kept it a secret. But now they're like, you know what? I don't care if I make my parent hurt. I don't care if I make my mama cry. Because so often a lot of people go through abuse as a kid and they don't want to talk about it, because the saying is, what happens in the house stay in the house. Well, what the people don't understand, when you have that saying, what happens in the house stay in the house, nobody really heals from it. And so they're carrying this deep sorrow, this deep pain that lingers all the way on until adulthood, and they cannot, you know, move forward. So it's like PTSD. And so when they have PTSD, it's like one thing can trigger them off and put them all the way back to that memory of when they felt unsafe, when they felt attacked, when they felt abused. And so now they're just like, you know what, I'm going to share it to the whole world what you know, what really happened. And so they says, I'm going to expose it. I'll take you back to 73 before I ever had a multi-platinum selling CD. I was a baby. Maybe I was just a couple of months. My faggot father must have had his panties up in a bunch because he split. I wonder if he even kissed me goodbye. So I watched the video, and the video was talking about how in the video it was showing how the mom and the dad were having a big argument, and whatever happened, the man just decided to split. And he was just a baby, and so he never met his father. And a lot of kids came fatherless, and then was stuck with the parent that was a drug addict. Okay. And it says, because he split, I wonder if he even kissed me goodbye. And he said, no, I don't. On second thought, I just effing wish he would die. So they're like upset because they never met their father. Their father was never there. And so they were stuck with their parent, which is with their mama. And it says, I look at Haley, and I couldn't picture leaving her side. So this person has had a kid or kids, and they just can't understand how a parent leaves their child, how a parent can just leave their kid and never look behind. Okay. And it says, even if I hated Kim, which is his baby mama, he said, I grit my teeth and I tried to make it work with her, at least for Haley's sake. I maybe made some mistakes. So this person is just saying that they would never split. They would probably just do everything they can to make it work with the mama, because they can't imagine their child not having the mom and the dad in their life. But a lot of kids was raised without fathers. Okay. And I didn't have my biological father in my life. Okay. So, it did make a big difference not having a biological father in my life, because it did cause me a lot of heartache. So this is what pretty much happened to him, not having a male role model or a male figure to show him what a father is supposed to be like. So God, sometimes, your ashes turn them into beauty. And so sometimes God will allow you to go through these things, because it may have been worse if maybe you could have died or something could have happened, or you could have followed in your father's footsteps. So sometimes it's not always a bad thing, because in my personal opinion, my biological father was an alcoholic, and, didn't work really. I mean, he worked on cars, he was an artist and all that stuff, but if I had him in my life, I don't think it would have been for the best, because I think I would have picked up some bad habits if I was like leaning straight. I don't believe he would have put me on a narrow path. So sometimes it's just a good thing in my personal opinion. But back on this. And it says, to make it work through her, at least for Haley's sake, I maybe made some mistakes, but I'm only human, but I'm a man enough to face them today. What I did was stupid, no doubt it was dumb, but the smartest stuff I did was take the bullets out of the gun. So just saying, like, they made some mistakes with the mom of their child. They made some mistakes, with their significant other, but they didn't like leave their kid, is what they're saying. And it says, because I'd have killed him and stuff, but I would have shot Kim and him both. Oh, so this sounds like cheating. That's what I'm getting, I guess, the mom of, okay, so the mother of his child was cheating. Dang, this is deep, okay? The mother of his child was cheating. And so he took the bullets out the gun, but he said, because I would have killed him, and I would have shot him and killed them both. And so it's my life. I like to welcome y'all to the Eminem show. So pretty much saying that if he wasn't thinking straight, if he didn't think with his mind about his child, he could have made some mistakes by actually killing the mother of his child and the man that she cheated on him with. But he didn't. Instead, he thought about his daughter, and he's just gonna do what he can to make it work for his daughter's sake, pretty much. And he's like, welcome to the Eminem shows. It's like how when you have a reality show and people think you won't do something, and it's just kind of like, you know, you do it and all that stuff. All right. Sorry, y'all. Feeling a little nauseous right now. But, anyways, and it says, and then it goes, I'm sorry, Mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. One more time, and it says, I said, I'm sorry, Mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. And so this is just a confession of what they went through and how they've been holding it in, and they just like, I can't hold it in no more. I can't hold it in any longer. So, sorry, y'all. Since I can't hold it in any longer, pretty much, this is just overdue confession. Some of y'all have been through foster care, been through a lot of things, and, you know, and you're just tired of people running their mouth because you might have been the quiet person, and now you're just not quiet no more. That's just how that goes. It said, now, I would have never dissed my own mama, just to get recognition. Take a second to listen for you think that this record is dissing. So just saying, you know, I'm not here to make her look bad. I'm here to tell the truth. That's what he's saying. I'm not here to make her look bad. I'm here to tell the truth, okay? And it just says, take a second to listen for you think this record is dissing. It says, but put yourself in my position. Just try to envision witnessing your mama's popping prescription pills in the kitchen. So it's saying, you know, instead of you judging them, why don't you switch places on what they had to go through when they were a child? And this is what their parent was doing to them. Popping prescription pills in the kitchen. And then it says the word be in that someone's always going through her purse and stuff is missing. And so technically it was just showing in the video how she was in there trying to pop pills. He was stealing money out of her purse, whatever. She was making him some cereal, and she put some alcohol in the cereal and some spoiled milk on top of it. Because it was cereal, but it was creamy and it was thick. And so I was like, wow, this is spoiled milk. So she put some whiskey or something. She popping pills. She pours whiskey in the cereal bowl and then spoiled milk on top of that. And then it says, you know, going through public housing systems, victim of Murchison syndrome. Murchison syndrome. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Lord forgive me. But anyways, what it is talking about, goodness. I did take what Murchison syndrome is, and it is a disorder. Is a factious disorder imposed on self. And it's a syndrome that is complex mental disorder, which is an individual imitates symptoms of illness in order to elicit attention, sympathy, or physical care. So that's what he was saying, that he was diagnosed. He was diagnosed. I hate it when it has to make me start all over. Okay. And it says, my whole life, I was made to believe I was sick when I wasn't. So a lot of parents, I actually knew someone. They would have a kid and then they would say something wrong with that kid, just so they can collect a check. And so he was diagnosed with that Murchison's syndrome. And then he said, my whole life I was made to believe I was sick when I wasn't. And so a lot of kids were diagnosed because of the parents. because they wanted a check. And I knew this person, every time she had a kid, she kept getting pregnant, and she wanted to find something wrong with the kids. So she was collecting like a check each kid, and she was getting like 4 G's a month, blew all her money, and was broke before the end of the month. And she did this all the time. This was her normal. And she was homeless. She was always hungry. She was just recklessly just buying stuff, throwing away stuff. It was crazy. And then all that stuff. It was so crazy. But yeah, so a lot of people were misdiagnosed as a kid because their parent was on drugs and stuff like that. And it says, till I grew up, now I blew up, and it makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it? And it says, when it is the reason you made that CD for me, for Ma. So what I'm getting from this is that, you know, when they found out that they wasn't sick, and they end up blowing up, you know, making it big, and they said, you know, you was trying to make me something that I wasn't, pretty much, because it said you made that CD for me. Wasn't it the reason you made that CD for me? So pretty much made a CD for them, trying to say that they were something that they're not. And it says, so you could try to justify the way you treated me, Ma. So saying that, like a confession of saying that why they treated them this way. It's like not. It's like saying that they did this in order to do this. I know that I was watching. What was it? Zach and Fatima. On Zach and Fatima, he was going through this abuse, and his mom was an addict. And there was a video that she made, and she wanted them to play it when she died. And on the video, she said that she wasn't always like this. And so there was a video of her showing her being normal with them before she became an addict. And so she pretty much loved them, you know, but it's like she just couldn't do it. Like she couldn't do the being a mom thing or whatever. So it's possible that she didn't take responsibility. She just made a CD saying that he had this disorder, and this is the reason why she was doing what she was doing. And then he said, so you could justify the way you treated me, Ma. But guess what? You getting older now, and it's cold when you're lonely, because now it's like you getting older and you have to think about the things that you did to your kids, you know. And it says, Nathan's growing up so quick, he's going to know that you're phony. So it sounds like his baby brother. And then it says, and Haley's getting so big now, you should see her. She's beautiful, which is his daughter. He said, but you'll never see her. She won't even be at your funeral. Ha ha. So saying that, you know, he's never going to let her see his daughter, her grandchild, because, you know, he doesn't respect his mother because of what he went through. And it says, but you'll never see her. She won't even be at your funeral. Haha. See, what hurts me the most is you won't admit you was wrong. And it says, do your song. Keep telling yourself that you was a mom. So often people that did you wrong want to make it seem like that they were there for you, and they wasn't. It's like they put a whole thing like they were a good mom. And I know a few people that their mom's trying to play mom, but they never apologize to them what they put them through, and then they get their life cleaned up, and they don't want to take accountability of the past so you can move forward, and so your relationship with them can be better. So a lot of parents are not taking accountability for what they did to their kid. And then it says, just keep telling yourself that you was a mom. And it says, you selfish bee, how you effing burn and tell and go to hell, whatever. And for this, you know, it's just hate speech, pretty much saying, I wish you would just die and go to hell. But this is anger because of not being able to heal, can't even move forward because the parent doesn't want to take accountability. And it says, remember when Ronnie died, you said you wish it was me. He. Well, guess what? I am dead to you as you can be. And so they probably wish that they had aborted you. And what I was told, because I was actually going through some classes over a year and a half ago, And they said that when you are pregnant, um, when you are pregnant and you want to abort the baby, but you don't end up aborting the baby, but you don't want the baby, that the baby is already feeling abandoned after they are born. And so this was sounds like they were already abandoned after they were born, because it sounds like resentment that the mother wished that they weren't born, because she said, I wish it was you that was dead and not Ronnie, whatever. And I don't know who Ronnie is, so I don't know if that's another of his brother or what. And then it says, I'm sorry, Mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet. And it just repeats it. And so, this is gonna be for some of y'all, spouses. Someone is going through this pain right now. As I had shared on my last video, that some of y'all are about to blow up, but some of y'all have some trauma, okay, that you really have never dealt with. But God said He wants you to forgive your parent, so you can get that blow up that you're supposed to get. Because sometimes it's that one thing that can keep you from getting what God wants you to have. Because God doesn't want to bless you when you don't have forgiveness in your heart. He wants to forgive you. He wants you to forgive others and forgive those who trespass against you, because it's not the forgiveness for them, it's the forgiveness for you. It's to make you whole and not keep holding back that anger, or keep holding on to that anger and that bitterness. And so what I had learned a long time ago is that the parent doesn't owe you anything but love. But God said, I will be your mother, I will be your father, I'll be your sister, I'll be your brother, I'll be anything to you. I'll be your comforter. God will be your doctor. He'll be your shelter, your shepherd. You know, He'll be everything that you need. And so that's where having a relationship with God, that is why you have to let go of the anger of the past, because sometimes the past will haunt you when you become big. And then you have to lash out on everybody and show them a side of you that they never even met, never even seen, because you holding on to all this trauma that's affecting you in your future. So technically, this trauma did affect him in the future. And so he went through his mom having addiction, his baby mama cheating on him, and went through all of this trauma and pain, and he just put it all in a song and confessed. So some of y'all are going to hear some confessions from your significant other, friends, family, of how they was really treated as a kid. And the thing is, they just want you to be a listening ear, because maybe some of y'all don't understand them and why they are the way they are. You can't really understand. Some of them are having a hard time sharing about what they actually went through as a kid. So this is the time for you to just help them through this pain and listen to them and just pray for them and ask God to help them to have forgiveness in their heart and to help them through it. I would advise some counseling to help you through these traumas, because even though you express how you're feeling, sometimes you have to get some type of counseling, because the anger kind of reminds you, it's like being traumatized, and you don't really sleep as well, and then you're always worrying about your kid and making sure that they're okay and they're being taken care of, and trying to make sure that they don't ever go through what you went through or whatever. And sometimes we don't choose our parents, but God put us as their child because to help them to get where they need. Or sometimes we're just put in an unlucky family, let's just keep that, and you just pray that that this family's going to love you, and you just do the best you can. And so, and I'm sorry for whoever went through this, where their parent was an addict and they were going through foster care and all that other stuff. So I just pray that the Lord will touch your heart and heal you, and that God will just show up in your life and give you everything that you have been lacking and missing, and that He will bless you with love that you never had before. And also, if you feel led to share this video with someone, please share this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for liking this video and help me get it into the algorithm. I thank God that I was able to make it through this video because whew, I was not feeling the best, but I really felt led to get out this video. So I hope this video and message helped someone. And I just plead the blood of Jesus over everyone on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. And y'all have a good night. Love you. Bye.